They used to swing really, really, really tight. And the reason they did that, okay, was because they could. Yeah, so they could. The pommel horse was a lot rounder. You didn't have to clear it, so it was kind of, you could swing lower or you could swing slower. You could pike. You could pike. If you stayed pike, you could go slow. Yeah? Okay, and here's what tended to happen. The equipment manufacturers took pommel horse and they made it flatter. Okay? And when they made it flatter, you had to swing higher. Now, how do you swing higher? You got to swing faster. Yeah? And when that happened, there was a really cool revolution in gymnastics that happened too. Flops. Flops came about at that. Flops came because guys swung faster. Yeah? You can look at the circle, okay? The amount of circles that were done. I would like for it.
Oh, it's not plugging into the wall. That works.
Yeah.
He'll tell you.
A flop is a combination, okay, of elements on one handle with turns. Yeah, and in the current rules, okay, it used to be that you could do as many as you wanted 2 turns. Right now you can only do 2 loops or 2 stockleys, and there's variations of it. You can get an E element, or you can get a D by doing 3 of them. Okay? Then you can do a second kind of flop, okay, which is a G flop, okay, or a Russian Wende, where you see the guys kind of turning around in circles, connected with 2 loops or 2 of a stockley element, or 1 loop and 1 stockley. So
when
that's
you circle
the
on
idea
pommels,
there's 2 different
that's
types
a
of
flop.
In a nutshell, a flop is circling on one hand. Yeah? Okay, that's what it is. Yeah? So, once they did that, once they made the pommel horse a little bit different, they made the equipment a little different, what tended to happen was you found circles were swung faster, and because of the addition of flops, you started to add the amount of circles. In LA in 1984, the most circles done in 1984 on the routine was 23 in the Olympic Games. Yeah? The least circles was Li Ning from China, 16, and Bart Connor from the USA, 16. The average circles of the 8 gymnasts in finals in the 1984 Olympics was 18 circles. How many of you can do 18 circles? You can do 18, yeah?
On above.
Just 18 circles, just 18 circles. Don't worry about it, just 18, yeah? You can do that, right? You can do the more circles than the guys that did the 1984 Olympics. Now, sure, you're turning, you're going to handstand and stuff, but it's basically 18 circles, yeah? Now, that number rose to almost double in Atlanta in 1996. In Atlanta, the average circles of the 8 guys in finals was 35. The most was Casimir from France, 43. 43 circles. Nowadays, I'll go back and I'll do the research. I'll check it out. Nowadays, you'll find that number's probably gone up. Upwards of 50 circles.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah? So, if you're on the pommels, and you're thinking, I can do 50 circles in a row. Great, okay? You could probably do a decent routine. But you gotta think, you gotta have the amount of circles you're doing. Then you gotta have probably double that, because you gotta turn, you gotta push, you gotta travel. You're gonna use energy, right? So you probably gotta be able to do 100, and then you gotta do 50 more because you gotta be stable. You gotta make it execution-wise perfect, because the last circle has to look like the first circle. So you gotta at least be able to do 150 circles on the pommels. I watched Lewis Smith do 300 circles in the pommel.
Wow.
In a row. 300. 300. Yeah? So, if you guys look at this, in the 60s, look at his circles. In the 70s, they started, you guys can come forward if you want. Come, because it's quite small, huh?
No, it's okay. It was actually really comfortable right there.
Hey guys, if you're sitting on that block, let's move that block up and get on the ground.
Okay? Is the idea of Russians, Kehrs, Wendes.
Level 4.
Okay. So, guys, just peek at that for a second. Take a look at it, kind of examine it.
You didn't say talk, you just look at it.
During when I was there.
Oh, I got it.
Practice. You didn't say talk, you said look at it.
This was part of mine. I'll give it. Okay, so guys, you're taking a look at that. You understand now that we got quarters, 3/4, all that good stuff. When you're doing Kehrs, Russians, Wendes, you see the big black arrow at the top. This is the major difference between circle movements and Kehrs and Wendes and all those turning elements. Is that black arrow points a different direction. Yeah, it's constantly changing. Okay, and that's the key. So come on out to the floor. I'm going to show you a good exercise about this.
Ow!
You might want to stand back so you don't get whipped.
Oh, you're going to whoop us.
All right. I'm gonna test you. Let's see if you can get it. My goal is I have to start this jump rope, okay? And I have to start turning in circles, and I want this jump rope to lift off the floor and start coming with me. When I start turning, is the jump rope gonna go with me, or is it gonna lag behind? It's gonna lag behind. Yeah? The minute that the jump rope then catches up to my chest bone, what do you think's gonna happen? Think it's gonna keep coming? It's gonna go? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's watch. All right, let's watch. Ready? I'm gonna move my shoulders first. Ready? Here we go. All right, so my chest bone is leading, right? Now watch, when the jump rope comes alive with my chest bone, watch what happens. Starts to slow down. Let's watch it again, watch. Chest bone's leading, my shoulders are leading, my legs, or my jump rope is traveling behind me. Now watch, as my legs or my jump rope catches up, I'm done. Russians, Kehrs, turning elements, same idea. If I start, I need my shoulders to lead it. My legs, my body is the jump rope. Yeah? That's the first thing you do. You're a dog chasing his tail. Yeah? That's it. Yeah? I'm a dog chasing my tail. Yeah? So when you're doing these turning elements, we're going to do it, we're going to bring the mushrooms out to the floor. We're going to go 1 mushroom, 2 mushroom, 3 mushroom, it's similar to what we did yesterday. And you're going to try to do an element or a skill where you do 1 circle, stop, okay, and then put your right hand forward or your left one, depending on which way you circle. We're going to break it down really, really heavy. I want the 9s to be on this side. Challenge, guys, here's your challenge. And I'm going to tell you from a judging perspective, okay, I'm going to teach you one thing that you need to be very, 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 very careful of. Because I traveled off with a gymnast where we thought we were on to something. I helped him to do some Russians, and we had a judge who was absolutely right. Downgrade a lot of the things that we did, and this was in a competition, and I ended up losing a lot of points because my entire team, they tried to do some Russian elements in a certain style, and we had 1/10 lower on every single Russian that we did. So you got to be careful here. Watch carefully. You need to make sure when you start a Russian, everybody can look in the mirror, okay? Please do not start a Russian by first turning like a Moor and then beginning to go. It's a very, very nasty habit, and the reason why is this. Every single element of Pommel horse starts in front support. So if I go and I'm trying to do a 360 Russian, and I first go to here, I put my left hand down, this is where it starts. And I think, okay, I've done a 360 Russian. No, I haven't. I've done 270, 1/10 lower. You need to be very, very careful with how you start this. And here's how I want you to start it. You're going to do 1 circle, and you need to get your second hand down very, very quickly so that your shoulder is leading the race. And you're going to go 1 hand forward. So you're going to do 1 circle, just that. 1 circle, yeah? Once you have that, your goal is to do 1 circle and 1 circle. 1 circle, half, 1 circle, half, 1 circle, half. You need to be able to do that activity. Good, good. Your left hand moves forward. Left hand. Yeah, that's good. That's okay.
I can set it in front.
It gets really hard.
There, that's right. There's a slight difference. Move your hand back. Good. The other hand.
that X. There's an X of the hands, guys. So whenever you guys are doing your Russians, I want you to try, and this will help you out as a gymnast. Whenever you're thinking about 180, 360, 270, whatever it is, you need to think of it in terms of hand placements. It will help you a little bit better, okay? 180 is going to be 2 hand placements. So you're going to take your left and right hand, you're going to move your right hand to the right, and your left hand to there. There's an X of your hands, okay? 1, 2, and you need to always square them out. You're going to start to get sloppy, guys, and you're going to start to pike, or you're going to have to fold your body or bend your legs or even separate them. Okay, the reason that you separate your legs in a Russian is it's not a silly form break. What it is you're trying your hardest to make your leg drag behind you. You see, you're a dog chasing his tail, okay? And when you feel like your body's catching up because your hands are too slow, then what you do is you separate your leg to try and drag it behind you. That's what you're doing. Yeah? And then once your hands pick up pace and you stay ahead of everything, that's when you close them back together. Yeah? So think of it in terms of 360 is 4 hand placements. Yeah? 270 is 3 hand placements. And you can think of it, okay, your hand placements are key. Yeah, so if you were going to do, let's say a Wugonian, okay, then you need 8 hand placements. 4 of which need to be before the handle. Some of you know this, but some of you are like, what is he talking about? Some of you will realize it. 4 hand placements into what's called the saddle, or the middle of the horse, and 4 hand placements out of it. Yeah? Okay, so this is key to Russian. So when you go over and you have those 4 sections, let's go back over and look at one mushroom. Some of you are going to go down onto the loop station now, and the way that you get yourself ready on the loop station is you need to swing your circles in the sections. So you have these 4 sections here for a reason. You do 1 circle, you put that hand down quickly, and you move your hand into the opposite section. You need to be very meticulous with where your hands are being placed. Don't get sloppy, okay? It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're finding you're kind of going 1, then 2, 3, 4, be very careful. You're going to get sloppy and you're going to fall, or you're going to separate. Okay? The hand placements are the key on Russians. Okay? So you try this. Your goal is 1 circle, 180, circle, 180. Circle, 360, circle, yeah? 540, circle. You can try to play this game. 1.5. Yeah? 1.5. 6 hand placements. Yeah? Way, almost like you're spindling it a little bit. Now, it's got to be super. It's got to be super duper fast.
Okay, good. Now, this hand has to be really fast. It's got to be
Left hand, strong shoulder right. Yeah. Now you're losing a bit of momentum because you're finding your shoulder. Okay, then you're letting your legs catch up. Keep moving. Keep moving. Nice. Little stronger right hand. Get your right hand down. Now.
fast hand.
Nice.
There you go. Circle out of it. Try one more time.
1 circle, okay, and then try to do 180, 1 circle, okay? So you can play here, yeah? Play. On here, you try to rush it, okay?
Braxton, get off. And reach out. And you gotta do it when your feet are behind you. And feet are behind you. There you go. Yeah, but you just reach a little bit farther and that happens. Good job. When your feet are behind you, that's when you move.
Play on there too, big guy. Yeah.
Remember, your shoulders have to move faster than your legs.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's perfect.
You tried to move when your feet were in front of you. You got to move when your feet are behind you.
Good try. Good try. This is a good activity just for them to try circle because they have to elevate in front. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, that was it.
Presley, good man.
There you go.
Would you like some assistance?
Can I go? It's spin.
And if you can, like you can see how this quicker. It did flip. Even when he does it. Yeah?
We got it on the mat.
No, the one thing they haven't explored is doing it from outward. Because you can also play around with.
Now you're on video, so no pressure.
Shit, video first.